Hello and welcome to Southwest Herts Community TV. I'm Jenny Braithwaite, I'm the District Leader up in Cumbria, and I've got with me today Alex Murray, who's the District Leader down in Southwest Herts. Come and say hi, Alex.
Hi Jenny, hi listeners, how is everyone today?
I hope everyone's good, thanks Alex. Um, Sorry, I'll just sort of take a breath and... so where have you been this week, Alex?
As unfortunately this week, having just started studying it, I've been quite quiet in terms of link growth, but we have had two events this week. Last night we had Link for Drinks and I was able to make that. And it was a brilliant evening. I only stayed till about 9 o'clock, just kind of time-wise and just feeling the drag of the day. Most people will come back from work and go, oh, I can't make it any longer. But it was a really good evening. We had about 15, 16 people again, so it shows somehow we managed to set 10 or so people in place and then adding in 3 or 4 new people in each time. So it's getting to a stage now when we're taking over a whole area of the bar, which is good. It just means we need to maybe coordinate a bit more. But it was a brilliant evening with a mix of some businesses, some charities. A gentleman, Neil, who's going to open a kind of social enterprise coffee shop up on the top of the high street, and that should be open next month, I believe. So he's going to be he's calling it the Reason Coffee Shop. I believe his website is open and you can see it now. So it was a really good evening and great conversations about politics and how we could do things better.
That sounds excellent, Alex. Sounds like it's really starting to take really great events in Watford now.
Yeah, and
have you been anywhere else? To anything else?
We've had another event this week. It was on Tuesday in Croxley. It was a coffee event. I unfortunately couldn't be there. It had a clash with my timetable, and as it's going to be for a while, if I can't be there, we'll look to get someone else hosting the event. So the event will all carry on. Nothing's going to change, which means the district leader, myself, won't be there, but everyone who's going to be there knows what they're doing, knows how to sort the events out. So it was a good event, I've been told. A few new people, which is always good. Not really sure who they are, but it's going to go on. Hopefully I'll try and catch up with the host in the next couple of days.
Oh, excellent. Do you have any local news for us this week, Alex?
I've got a fair bit of local news. I mean, I spent some time over the last few days collating it all. Commuting gives you a good chance to read the papers and find out what's going on. And for anyone who hasn't heard, and you should have heard if you watched the show before, the Women's Centre on Market Street are still selling the photos of Watford. I believe it'll be until the end of this month, so it's a great chance to go and get a bit of local artwork, which has been all by local artists, and also support a local charity, which is something I'm personally passionate about, and Link for Growth is passionate about also. So it's about supporting a local charity and also promoting the image of Watford and saying there are some interesting buildings and interesting architecture and history in the town. So you should buy some of these photos, and it's a conversation starter as well.
Sounds really good. I always think it's great to have community photographs. I know we have similar things up here, and they're always a great way of appealing to people. And people like to look at especially through old photographs, kind of looking at, trying to work out what happened to that shop, and is that my auntie on that old photograph, and things like that.
Yeah, we had in the L4G Watford community, for anyone who doesn't know, on Google Plus, we had a conversation as part of the competition. We had a photo on there. It was the old Tasker restaurant, and there was a whole history being put in there by people saying this used to be. I remember it used to be this building, which I believe is a Mexican kind of bar, and before then it was something else. And then they added a feature in of a little bell on the top of it, and there was conversation: when do we know when this was? Do we know why it was rented? And so, using what we've done is built a place where people can add pictures and then have a commentary of what the buildings used to be, so you can get a built-up encyclopedia of Watford, of all the buildings in the area.
That sounds absolutely amazing. It'd be brilliant, and it's something that I'd love to see in loads of other towns as well. I'd certainly like to see it for my area.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's something easy to do because we've got the technology there. Everything's been set up, so it's just about encouraging people to get on. So wherever you live, whether you live in Watford, whether you live up in You're in Penrith, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so whether you're up in Penrith, whether you're in Wales, or wherever you are in the country, we can get something set up because it doesn't take long to do because they're all based on the template. And then it's about encouraging engagement So it's about getting people to take a photo, because eventually one person will take a photo and then someone else thinks, oh, I could do that, because you can do it on your phone. It's very simple to do. So it just builds engagement. Just on this kind of architectural photo point, if you're interested in the buildings of Watford, tomorrow between 12 and 1:30, the Watford Museum are doing a Victorian walk of Watford, so showing you the Victorian architecture on the High Street in Watford, so you can point out that, and then you can take some photos, put them up there, and learn a few things about how Watford was in the Victorian times.
That sounds really interesting. It kind of makes me think that wish I could actually be on there, but I think it's quite a way to come for half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if we make it. See, if someone's going, we'll get a headset on, we'll get them to film it, and we might stream it live. We don't know. Anything's possible.
I was thinking that the screening live would be brilliant. If we can't do it for this, we'll certainly be doing that for things sometime in the future, won't we?
Yeah, I mean, my last attempt to stream something live didn't go particularly well. I don't know if you saw the announcement of the Women's Centre Photo competition. We tried to stream it live in the pub, but I'm not brilliant with the technology. The training hadn't been put in place yet to teach people how to set everything up. So it was very much a fish out of water. It was awful.
But hey, you had a go, and I say that's the biggest thing there is. If you have a go and it doesn't work, hey, you can do it better next time, can't you?
Definitely, what it showed is this is possible, and this is not how to do it. But don't worry, Link4Earth can teach you how to do it. So we showed you what not to do, and we'll also show you what to do. So it's fine.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Any more local news, Alex?
Yeah, quite a fair bit. It's that time of the year. Everything's starting to ramp up again towards the end of the year. So last Saturday, luckily with the good weather, we had a party on the pond by the pond. So they got a big it was almost like a mini festival stage built up, and we had a great audience there. Some great pictures in the community as well. They had local bands, a kind of retro band. They had a DJ from, I believe it was the Only Way is Essex. So it was a great way of just bringing the community together. And I know some people went to it, enjoyed it. I didn't myself go, but it wasn't really my thing. But it was a great way of just bringing the community together. So I've just got a bit of cramp in my leg. That's quite awkward. It's awful. Cramp in my leg. But yeah, bringing the community together and getting them to engage each other, people that may never meet each other before. And that's not going to be the last of what they've called the big events. Next Saturday, I believe, which is the 27th, there's going to be something called the Big Catwalk. Not particularly sure. I'm presuming it's a fashion show. I'm hoping it's not kind of lions, tigers down the high street, which would be a bit dangerous.
Although it does create quite an incredible mental image.
Yeah. I mean, the town centre, they have tried to scare the pigeons off, and they have brought in I believe it's a kind of a bird of prey that they tried at Wimbledon. That hasn't particularly worked. That may encourage the pigeons to leave if they brought in a tiger or a lion, perhaps. But I'm presuming it's going to be a fashion show of sorts. So I can't hear you, Jenny.
Sorry, I didn't unmute. Sorry about that, Alex.
It's all right.
That sounds really interesting as well, and I think you've got even more, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, as of just the last bit of the big event, we've got tickets are on sale now for the ice rink. There's going to be an ice rink at the top of town, and tickets are on sale now. So first time Watford's going to have an ice rink, so it'd be a great way to enjoy the kind of festive season and the winter season with an ice rink in the local town, because we're trying to attract more people. Instead of saying going to London and enjoying ice rink, coming to Watford, because the transport's pretty easy. There's lots of great restaurants and stuff, and then we add in features like this and the Harlequin into building and all the shops there. It's a great way of saying rather than going into London and spending the day there, you can spend the day in Watford. So it's a really good idea, but that's not the end of the local news, I'm afraid to say, Jenny.
Wow, there's an awful lot happening then.
Yeah, there's a few more bits going on. As we talk about most weeks on the show, the Watford Market has an official open date. It will open on the October the 10th. That is official, and hopefully by then everything will be sorted. So that will be the official opening date, Friday the 10th, and I should be there on the day. Hopefully take some photos and get them shared so everyone can see them on this show for the afternoon. And then on Tuesdays and Fridays, the market will have some street stalls outside. So hopefully a way of attracting people in. If they don't know what it is, they'll be kind of the marker, and hopefully by then people will start to come in and see the market and see how it's changed.
Excellent. I mean, I hear a lot about the market in Watford, and even though I'm nowhere near, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. The market, well, I go most Saturdays and have a catch up with Chris, and it's getting to a stage now when people have heard about the new market, so have started to go away from the old market. So as a result, it's got quieter. So therefore, less people are wanting to go because they've heard it's quieted. So it's a vicious cycle. So less people go, the quieter it gets. So therefore, the less people go, so the quieter it gets. And it must be really depressing for the stallholders who some days they have allocated this has to be the day I pay for my rent. The next day is the day I pay for my stock. And then this day, if I'm lucky, is when I make profits. Otherwise, they might not make any money. So hopefully the new opening, the ones who are going are get benefit from it and hopefully get some new customers from it. And the ones who aren't going, because some of them can't go due to facilities, we students in sport, and hopefully we can, what Link4Growth can do is encourage them to get online into the Google Plus communities and start promoting themselves there and say how you can find us because we aren't going to be at the new market.
I think that's really great, sort of seeing how you can take sort of what's happening in a physical location and using the technology and things like that we have available, which sometimes people see is it's not for local businesses and local things, but I think that's really where a strength of things like the Google Plus community, local communities can be. I think they can be really powerful.
Yeah, I know we've had discussions about, as Chris and myself, about the idea of having the streets in Watford, especially some streets, Market Street and Queen Street, have got shopping parades, and they should be on communities in Google Plus in the similar way that the local business parks are. So then the traders can talk to each other and discuss street issues. So is it parking? Is it littering? Is it that? And the market traders can do the same thing. They could all have a community just for the market, so they can promote that. And if you want to go in there, you can follow, you can join the community and find out what's going on in the market. If they could post on family illness can't open today, so you go in, so you don't end up going there and being disappointed and so and so. So it's like the kind of idea of people posting there. So you would, as you would follow someone on Twitter, you go in there and find out what's going on for the market that day, whether there's special promotions and stuff. So hopefully, if we start to build up engagement with the new market and they encourage them, it's something we look to do.
That sounds excellent. Do you have more local news, Alex?
The one last story I picked out today, for anyone who doesn't know, Casby Park is being nominated again for a Green Flag Award, which is just kind of finding out the nation's favourite park in the area. So Casby Park, great history, great area to take children on a lovely weekend, eating. There's a great cafe there, I believe. And last time we entered, which was 2011, we came third. So hopefully, with a renewed push, we can maybe win the award. So, which would be a great way of saying, come to Watford for not everything else we've just talked about, the big events, the market, but our park, Casby Park, is nominated as the nation's favourite park. So I think that would be a brilliant way of attracting people from the surrounding areas who may go into London, say, come here, because not only have we got all the brilliant shopping facilities and restaurants, we've also got an award-winning green space. I will carry on talking about the market when Jenny just sorts some technical things out. Yeah, the green space, the park is brilliant. It's got a lot of history, and the canal obviously goes through that. So it's a great way of finding about the history of Watford. I know there's some things in there about the history of Watford. And also, it's big enough to say you won't see everything on the first time. And I know I went for a walk with my family, and then up on West Herts golf course, just had walk, and we're on a golf course. We've obviously gone too far, but it's very relaxed. It's very casual. It's brilliant on a nice summer's day. Walk around the park, then back into town to enjoy a nice lunch in one of the restaurants. It's just a great way of spending a morning or an afternoon in a nice green space where it's kind of, you're not in the city, you're not in the town. It's green, it's open, it's airy.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Really nice.
That's it for local news, right? It's been a busy week in Watford, but it's only going to get busier as things wrap up towards the end of the year.
Yeah, it always seems to be really busy sort of in the last sort of quarter of the year. I found that in our area as well.
Yeah, I guess this period is the kind of lull of the year. We've just had that busy summer when everything's kind of busy and everyone put all the effort in because that's when everyone's out, and now the schools have just gone back, so everyone's still trying to readjust to that. So the businesses are looking now to the Christmas word. I don't like using that word. It's too warm to use the Christmas word.
Yeah, I agree with you, but apparently there's less than 100 days left.
Yeah, it won't take long. I mean, we're halfway through September. That means it's nearly October. So yeah, it won't be long.
I know, it's quite scary, really, isn't it? How quickly time's passing.
But if you're thinking of a Christmas present, I can recommend you the L4G book. I'll transfer us over in some kind of L4G news. The L4G book is finally out in 3 different locations. It's out on Kindle at £5. It's at events at £8 and available on Amazon for around £12. So if you're interested in buying the book for a present for Christmas, as we just talked about, come and see me or Chris or whoever the host is an event. Hopefully they'll have some copies of the book. I will have copies when I'm there. So that's a great way of saying I'm involved in Link growth. This is what I do. I want A, support Link growth by buying the book, but B, give it to someone else who then may see it as a way of, oh, I could do that, because all it takes is just the knowledge of what Link growth is doing to engage encouragement.
Excellent. I'm thinking we probably have some more Link for Growth news this week as well.
Yeah, in terms of next week, it's a slightly busy week. It's a busy week in the district, not so busy myself. The only chance I will get to go to an event next week, so if you want to catch up with me, and it will be tomorrow on the Watford Market, I'll be there from around 10 to probably about 12. So if you want to catch up and find out what big plans for Southwest Herts is in the long term, that's where I'll be. Otherwise, we have 2 events next week. One is the second Northwood coffee, which it was a shame this coffee got. The second one should have been in August, but unfortunately, because of the bank holiday, we couldn't have the event because of bank holiday Monday. So we pushed back the second one to Northwood, which was a shame because we may have lost the momentum of the event. So hopefully this one will pick up, and by the end of the year, it'll be a solid event. I know a few people are going. We've got a couple of hosts there who are going to look after them because of the relationship we built up with another local business group where the coffee is. It's in his cafe. So if you're in the local area, Northwood, go along. It's Monday, 10 o'clock to 11:30. Great cafe. The staff are very friendly, and Matthew, the host, is brilliant. So go along there. And the other event, if you're in the Rickmansworth area, or you just want to go to a Link for Growth event, it's in Rickmansworth. It's in the Regis building. Again, brilliant. The staff are brilliant. They provide all the teas and coffees themselves for free, so you don't have to worry about buying anything. The parking, if you want to park in the car park itself, you may have to ask because it is barriered. But what I do and what I would recommend is parking in the church opposite, because they generally allow free parking. I haven't had a problem there, except the last time when I parked there. There was a funeral going on, so I was a little bit worried about whether I'd be able to get out.
So it sounds like there's quite a bit going on, Link for Growth down in Watford this coming week.
I mean,
is there any more events, any other news about Link for Growth this week?
A little training update for anyone who hasn't been on it yet. The Google Plus Hangouts training is next, I believe it's the 25th, so that is, let me look at the diary. That's next Thursday. I haven't got the times written down. I'll put a link out after this. It's a great way of finding out how we use the Hangout. So if you're watching this, you are watching a Hangout live on air. So it's a great way of, it looks quite simple to do. How can I do that? So if you're thinking of it for your business, whether it's just a conference call, which you'd maybe do over the phone or over Skype, but you've got a Google Plus account, you've heard about Google Plus, it's a great way of learning about that. Whether it's you want to do some broadcasting, or whether it's just you want to have a private chat with your family who may be already on Google Plus. So it's a great way of finding out how Link for Growth is using it and why you should be using it.
Agreed. I think the Hangouts, they're an excellent tool, and anyone who does come on the training is going to benefit from having an excellent trainer as well. And there's various other training coming up as well later on as well, isn't there, Alex? And I believe the links are all in the event at the moment.
Yeah, we've just created, as part of the kind of rebranding of the Link for Growth training, it was formerly known as Link Skills. We've now had a separate Eventbrite page for the training. So what we've done is we've said the event, go here. So if you're interested in events, you look on the Link for Growth events. But if you're interested in the training, all you need to do is type in Link Skills, and you should get all the details there. So I did forget to mention the price. It is £25 for non-subscribers and the members of the general public, and £15 for subscribers to Link for Us. So that variation is maybe a reason why you might say, I'll go subscribe, because not only do I give my money to Link for Us and support what they're doing, because I believe it's a good idea. What I'm saying is I'm saving myself £10. So it's a great way of helping someone and also helping yourself.
I just add that now that we're on the Link for Skills platform, if you go to that Eventbrite, you will just see the full priced version. Link for Growth members, if you currently email Deepa Kopak and ask for the discount code so that you can get it for the subscribers, right?
Okay, I did remember that. I did remember that email that went round, and I had forgotten it because it has been one of those weeks.
I think you've got an excuse when you've been starting a new course along with everything else there, Alex.
Yeah, but that's me done. Unless we've got any questions, unless we've got any questions or anything.
I'm just looking. The only thing in there is Diane Richardson saying that she can let us know how they did in the WWC photo competition, and thanks to Link for Growth.
Okay, that's
I might
great.
have read that wrong, but I'm not.
I'll have a quick look, see what Diane's saying. Diane is the representative of the Women's Centre who comes to the Link for Growth event, and that's a good reminder because I wanted to give a shout out to Diane for having her first event as the community host, and she enjoyed herself. Drinks is a very informal night, so it generally doesn't require anyone to make a speech, and she generally sit around a table or a few tables and just talk to people and she made sure people mingled, and so people weren't just stuck talking to the same people at a time. So thanks, Diane. It's a great way, so it means I can then have a bit of relief. Diane helped host that event, and she was very encouraging about progression and stuff. So brilliant, thanks, Diane, and great work at Women's Centre. But that's me done. A short show today.
Excellent. I think short, sharp, and sweet is often a great way to go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say bye, and I'll let you say bye to everyone. And
yeah. Thanks for anyone who's listened today and anyone who's watching catch up. I'd like to thank Jenny coming on and hosting today. Pleasure having you on today, and hope to see you again soon.